President Trump may take a page from FDR's playbook to prove to the American people he did nothing wrong in that Ukraine phone call. He's telling the Washington Examiner, quote, "At some point I'm going to sit down, perhaps as a fireside chat on live television, and I will read the transcript of the call because people have to hear it. When you read it, it's a straight call," end quote. I want to bring in the power panel now. Chris Plante, syndicated radio talk show host of The Chris Plante Show. Antjuan Seawright is a former senior advisor to Hillary Clinton in South Carolina. So, Chris, I'll start with you. Is the president right? Do people need to hear him read that transcript?
Well, it's pretty clear that the mass media is not putting out there what needs to be put out there in terms of President Trump's argument here. How many people have actually read the transcript versus the abbreviated version provided by certain news organizations? I think it would be a perfectly good idea for the president to come out and read it. It would be historic, and it would also be sort of a slap in the face with a fish to the American news media, who are not giving him a fair deal on this at all. There's nothing wrong with the call, as they've said again and again. There's no quid pro quo. If there were, quid pro quo is not illegal. All U.S. foreign aid comes with strings attached. They all have quid pro quos attached. And I think the president should go ahead and read it on the air.
Antjuan?
First of all, Chris, with all due respect, you may have things a bit confused. What the president is saying is that he wants to take the American people's time and read a version of the script of the actual phone call. What we know, because we've heard testimony, that the script that was released was an altered version, not the true version of what was said on the call. So he essentially will be wasting our time and taxpayers' dime by reading a transcript of the call and not the true transcript. And for you to continue to say
Antjuan, have you seen a different version of that?
Yeah, where's the true transcript?
I'm just asking because you sound like you know something,
transcript.
and I want to know what you know.
Harris and Chris, what we've seen, testimony that have come out as a result of the hearings, is that someone on the call, one of the most decorated generals of our day, said, who was on the call, that this transcript that was released is different from the actual context of the phone call.
I assume you're talking about a lieutenant colonel rather than one of the most decorated generals of our time, who said were two words.
You're right.
Yeah, who said there was, it's a fact-free point there, but who said that there were two words in there that he recalled being in there that weren't in the transcript. That has been disputed and refuted
Chris,
by
the White House.
One thing that I will say before I move on to both of you is when Mr. Morrison testified yesterday.
Right.
He simply said that he didn't see anything illegal going on. He said there might be some political implications.
That does not mean the transcript of the call.
All right, let's move on to this.
And
again,
he also
Antjuan,
said
if
the
you can show
transcript was
proof
good.
that something else has happened here, I just want to know if you've seen a different version.
It's with the Russian collusion proof. It's over there with the alternate fantasy transcript.
Under oath.
Bill Clinton is fueling more speculation that his wife might jump into the 2020 race. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's not running for anything, and ever, or at least she may or may not ever run for anything, but I can't legally run for president again.
Quick reaction, Antjuan.
Of this country.
I don't think Hillary's running for president. I could be wrong, but I do think she will have a lot to offer and assistance to help in the 2020 general election.
How?
She'll help campaign for candidates up and down the ballot, as she did in 18, in places where Donald Trump won in 16 that Democrats were able to win in 18. So I do think she still has a lot to offer.
Wow. Chris?
She's a glutton for punishment. Most Democrats won't want her campaigning with her. She lost in 2008 to Barack Obama in the primary process. She lost in 2016 to the man that couldn't possibly win. Honestly, she's a Shakespearean tragedy, and it would be best if she just went home and left this nice country alone.
I'm sure you would say that. Again, she campaigned for candidates in swing states and swing districts in 18.
I'm just wondering who she would get behind as a nominee, because she listed Joe Biden on her list of things for her having lost. You can read about that. It's a long scroll, including farms in Macedonia. Both of you, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harris.